A very good morning to all the students. Today in this video we are going to continue and finish our literature chapter, The Red-Headed League. So let's continue.
Bank. I could see that Holmes was very excited. "Well, Watson, I have some work to do that will take a few hours," went on Holmes. "This case at Saxe-Coburg Square is serious." "Serious?" I said. "Why?" "An important crime has been planned. I think we'll be in time to stop it, but I'll need your help tonight." "At what time?" 10 o'clock. "Then I'll be at your apartment at 10. "Good. And Watson, there may be some danger, so please bring your gun with you." I said goodbye and went home. I thought about everything that had happened. It was a very strange case, and I did not understand what was happening. Where were we going that evening? What were we going to do? Why did I have to bring my gun? And who was Vincent Spaulding? There was only one thing to do. I had to wait until the evening. Then perhaps I would get the answers to these questions. At 9:15 that evening, I set off for Baker Street, where Holmes lived. When I arrived, I noticed two carriages standing outside Holmes' door. Inside his apartment, Holmes was talking with two men. One of them was Peter Jones, a police detective. The other man was tall and thin, with a sad-looking face. "Hello, Watson," said Holmes. "I think you already know Mr. Jones of Scotland Yard. Let me introduce Mr. Merryweather. Mr. Merryweather tonight." "I hope it's important," said Mr. Merryweather sadly. "I usually play cards with friends on Saturday evenings. I have played cards every Saturday night for the last 27 years. "I think," said Sherlock Holmes, "that tonight you'll play a more exciting game than cards. You, Mr. Merryweather, may lose £30,000. You, Jones, may win the prize of a criminal you want to catch." "The criminal John Clay, murderer and thief," said Jones. "He's a young man, but he's a very clever criminal. I want to catch him more than any criminal in London." "It's time to go now," said Holmes. "Two carriages are waiting. You two take the first carriage, and Watson and I will follow in the second." The carriages went quickly through the dark streets. I wondered where we were going. "We're nearly there," Holmes said to me at last. "This man, Merryweather, is a bank manager. I wanted Jones to come with us too. He's a good man. He's not very clever, but he is very brave. Ah, here we are." We were in the same busy street which Holmes and I had visited earlier in the day. We got out of the carriages, and Mr. Merryweather took us down to a small side door. Through the door was a corridor with an iron gate at the end. Mr. Merryweather opened this gate and stopped to light a lantern. Then he took us down some steps and through another gate. At last we were in a large cellar. This cellar was full of large boxes. Holmes took out his magnifying glass and went down on his knees to the floor. He examined the stones on the floor, then he jumped up and put the glass back in his pocket. "We have about an hour," he said. "The criminals will wait until Mr. Wilson is in bed. Then they'll move quickly. Watson, we're in the cellar of one of the most important banks in London. Mr. Merryweather is the manager of this bank. He'll explain why the criminals are interested in this cellar at the moment." "About 2 months ago," whispered Mr. Merryweather, "the bank received a huge amount of gold from the Bank of France. But we never used the money. It's still lying in boxes in this cellar." "I understand," I said. "Well," said Holmes, "let's make our plans. Mr. Merryweather, you must put out the lantern. But first, we must decide where to stand. These men are dangerous, and we must move carefully. I want you all to hide behind these boxes. When I shine my light on the men, attack them. If they fire a gun, Watson, shoot back at once." I hid behind a wooden box and put my gun on the top. Merryweather put out the lantern, and we were in complete darkness. "They have only one way of escape," said Holmes. "That's back Saxe-Coburg Square. Have you done what I asked you, Jones? 3 police officers are waiting at the front door of Wilson's shop, replied Jones. Excellent. Then everything is ready. And now we must be silent and wait. More than an hour went by. My arms and legs were tired, but I was afraid to move. The only sound was the breathing of my 3 companions. Suddenly, I saw a light. This light was coming from underneath the floor. It was shining between the stones in the floor. Slowly, one of the large stones turned over on its side. There was now a large square hole in the floor. The light of a lantern shone up through this hole. I saw a face appear in the hole. By the light of the lantern, I recognized Mr. Wilson's assistant. The young man pulled himself up out of the hole. He turned round and stood beside the hole. Then he began to pull up another man after him. This man was thin and small, with bright red hair. "Let's hurry," whispered the young man. Suddenly, Holmes jumped forward and grabbed the young man by the neck. Immediately, the man with red hair jumped down the hole again. Jones grabbed at his coat, and I heard the sound of tearing cloth. At once, the young man pulled a gun out of his pocket, but Holmes hit the man's hand, and the gun fell to the floor. "Stand still, John Clay," said Holmes. "You cannot escape." "All right," replied the young man. "But I think my friend has escaped." "You'll see your friend very soon," said Jones. "There are 3 policemen waiting for him at the front door. Now then, John Clay, please hold out your hands. I'm going to take you to the police station." Jones put the handcuffs on John Clay's wrists, then led him upstairs. Holmes, Mr. Merriweather, and I followed them from the cellar. "Mr. Holmes," said Mr. Merriweather, "I don't know how the bank can thank you. You've stopped a very serious crime."
So students, that's the story of our literature chapter, The Red-Handed League. And now, it's homework time. Today's homework, you have to write down 2 character sketch. One is of Sherlock Holmes and the other one is of Dr. Watson. Thank you everyone for watching the video.